Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. I'm so happy you could join me for episode 9 of our English with Short Story series. If you're new here, a very warm welcome to you. This is where we make learning English fun and effective by diving into captivating stories. It's a fantastic way to improve your vocabulary, listening skills, and overall understanding of the language in a natural, relaxed way. So, find a comfy spot, grab a notebook if you like, and let's get started. Today's story is a classic tale of wisdom and perception called The Wise Man's Camel. It's a short, insightful story that carries a powerful message about observation and deduction. As I read, I want you to just listen and try to picture the scenes in your mind. Don't worry if you don't understand every single word right away. The goal is to grasp the main idea and enjoy the flow of the narrative. After the story, we'll break it down together, look at some key vocabulary, and discuss the meaning behind it all. Are you ready? Let's begin. Two merchants were traveling through a vast desert, their minds occupied with the business that awaited them at their destination. Suddenly, they realized a terrible truth. One of their camels, laden with valuable goods, was missing. They searched frantically, scanning the endless sands, but the animal was nowhere to be seen. As panic began to set in, they saw a lone figure walking towards them. He was an old wise man, known throughout the region for his keen senses and sharp intellect. Hoping for a miracle, the merchants rushed towards him. "Sir, have you seen a stray camel?" one of them asked, his voice filled with anxiety. The wise man, without even breaking his stride, replied calmly, "Was your camel blind in its left eye?" The merchants were astonished. Yes, it was," they exclaimed in unison. "And was it carrying a load of wheat on one side and honey on the other?" the man continued, their jaws dropped. "That's exactly right. How could you possibly know that?" The wise man paused, a thoughtful expression on his face. "I also noticed," he said, "that the camel was lame in one of its front legs." The merchants were now completely convinced that this man had seen their animal. "You've described it perfectly." The second merchant cried out, "Where did you see it? Which way did it go?" A slight smile touched the wise man's lips. "I'm sorry to tell you," he said gently, "that I have not seen your camel at all." The merchant's joy turned instantly to anger. "You haven't seen it? Then you must be a thief. How else could you know so much about it? You've stolen our camel and its goods." They seized the wise man and dragged him before the local judge, accusing him of theft. The judge listened patiently to the merchant's angry accusations. Then he turned to the wise man. "They claim you have stolen their camel. You described the animal in perfect detail, yet you say you have not seen it. How do you explain this?" The wise man stood tall and addressed the court. "Your Honor," he began, his voice clear and steady, "I have spent my life learning to read the book of nature. As I walked along the path this morning, I used my eyes to observe what others might overlook." He continued, "I knew the camel was blind in its left eye because I noticed it had only grazed on the grass on the right side of the path. The grass on the left was untouched." A murmur went through the courtroom. "I knew it was lame in one front leg," he went on, "because I saw that the prints of one of its front hooves were fainter than the others, indicating it was not putting its full weight on that leg." The merchants looked at each other, their anger slowly being replaced by awe. "And how did I know what it was carrying?" the wise man asked rhetorically. "On one side of the path I saw ants busily carrying fallen grains of wheat. On the other side I saw that flies were gathered, attracted to drops of spilled honey," he concluded his explanation. "I simply put together the clues that the desert provided. I did not see the camel, but I saw the signs it left behind. I am an observer, not a thief." The judge was deeply impressed by the wise man's powers of deduction. He immediately ordered the man to be released and praised his wisdom. The merchants, humbled and ashamed of their false accusation, apologized sincerely to the wise man. They not only learned a lesson in humility, but also gained a profound respect for the power of careful observation. And with the wise man's clues, they were able to follow the trail and eventually find their lost camel. And that's the end of our story. What did you think? It's a simple tale, but it's packed with so much wisdom, isn't it? It shows us that if we pay close attention, The world is full of information waiting to be discovered. Now, let's go back and look at some of the useful words and phrases from the story. This is the part where we really start to build our English skills. First, let's talk about the word laden. The story said the camel was laden with valuable goods. Laden is an adjective that means heavily loaded or weighed down with something. You could say, the apple tree was laden with fruit, or he arrived at the party laden with gifts. It's a more descriptive and slightly more formal word than just saying full of or carrying a lot of. Next up is the word asterisk asterisk. Frantically, the merchants searched frantically. Frantically is an adverb that describes doing something in a hurried, excited or disorganized way, usually because of fear or anxiety. Imagine losing your keys when you're already late for an important meeting. You would search for them frantically. It paints a vivid picture of their panic. Another great word is astonished. The merchants were astonished when the wise man described their camel. Astonished means greatly surprised or impressed. Amazed. It's a stronger word than just surprised. If someone tells you a little secret, you might be surprised. But if they tell you they can fly, you would be astonished. Let's look at the phrase in unison. The story says they exclaimed in unison. This means they spoke the words at the exact same time. It's often used to show strong agreement or a shared, sudden reaction among a group of people. For example, the crowd cheered in unison when the team scored. How about the word asterisk asterisk deduction? The judge was impressed by the wise man's powers of deduction. Deduction is the process of reaching a conclusion about something by using logic and available information. It's like being a detective. The famous fictional detective Sherlock Holmes was a master of deduction. He would look at small clues and figure out the whole story. Finally, let's discuss the word humbled. At the end, the merchants were humbled and ashamed. To be humbled means to feel less proud or important. It often happens when you realize you were wrong about something or when you witness something truly great. It's a feeling of having your perspective changed for the better. Their arrogance was replaced by a newfound respect. So, to recap, we have laden, heavily loaded. Frantically, in a panicked or hurried way. Astonished, very surprised or amazed. In unison, all together at the same time. Deduction, reaching a conclusion through logic and evidence. Humbled, feeling less proud, more modest. Try to use one or two of these words this week. Maybe you could write a sentence in the comments below using one of them. I'd be astonished by your great sentences. The message of The Wise Man's Camel is timeless. It teaches us the importance of observation, critical thinking, and not jumping to conclusions. The merchants immediately assumed the worst, accusing the man of theft. But the wise man showed them that the truth was available to anyone who was willing to look for it carefully. In our own lives, how often do we overlook the small details? How often do we make assumptions without having all the facts? This story encouraged us to be more like the wise man, to be more observant, more thoughtful, and less quick to judge. It's a wonderful skill to have, not just for learning a language, but for navigating life itself. Thank you so much for joining me today for this story. I truly hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. Practicing with stories like this is one of the best ways to make English a part of you. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, and do not forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next episode. I always love reading your comments, so please share your thoughts on the story below. Until next time, keep practicing, stay curious, and happy learning. Bye for now.